Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love is Blind, Season 4, Episode 6, Chris. Now, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, we got Zach, and he decided again, he wanted to meet Bliss. We saw that on the end of the last episode. He went for a little chat. Got to say, Dave, everyone has slated Zach. Mostly the ladies have all slagged him off, and we've not seen it. But I thought his delivery to Bliss was sort of like, well, I've decided that she wasn't for me. You're the booby prize. Here I am. It was terrible. His delivery was terrible to poor Bliss. I still think she likes him and he likes her, but I don't know whether he meant it, but I thought he come across really, really arrogant when he was talking to her.
Yeah, I'm to be fair, and I don't know if you meant giving him a bit of stick or giving Irina a bit of stick, but I think between those pair, again, I've got no horse in that race. I think we even saw it with with Zach's talking to Irina, that he thinks he's got all the answers. Like, instead of just actually listening. And so when someone's trying to speak, like he says, oh, the reason you're saying that is X, Y, and Z, or the reason you're feeling that is X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? It's really, it doesn't just take a breath and like calm down and just use your fucking ears and listen. And yeah, I agree. It was really awkward, that sort of talk, wasn't it? And Bliss, to be fair, I couldn't tell if she still does like him or if that ship sort of sailed. She just seemed to be a little bit perplexed by the whole situation. I mean, it's all completely ad hoc, isn't it? It's all completely off the cuff. You've got all the camera crew there and everything in the restaurant.
Act natural.
I don't think she really knew what to do, but I don't see her turning around in the next episode and saying, yeah, let's give it a go. I think if I was her, I'd be like, well, you fucked me off. I told you exactly what the score was. And, we had a bit of a connection in there, but that time's been and gone now.
Yeah, I think that's how I feel about that whole thing. And you're right, actually, Dave, the setup with the cameras and everything. What good? The only thing I can think of is on the other side is if Bliss wants to stay on the show, then she gets with Zach for the duration of the show. Because I don't think if that happens, there's quite a few couples I'm seeing cracks in, Dave. Bar one, I think. But yeah, I'm with you. I think she should just fuck him off, leave with her head held high and say, sorry, you should have picked me first time round. Because it's just bollocks, isn't it? He's obviously... There's been some sort of interaction with Irina. So, yeah, no, I'm with that one, Dave. So, Dave,
Sorry, I, just before we move on, there's a cracking point, to be fair. So I will use it as the binary indicator. So if she's on the next episode, I'll call bullshit. And I'll say she's just after the screen time. But the little bits that we did see of her, she didn't really come across that way. So my money would be on she's not going to be on the next episode.
Yeah, I hope so, because I actually quite liked her. I thought she was a nice person. Yeah. So let's. Don't mean she's a bad person if she stays on, Dave, but we all know how these shows work, don't it? So yeah. Anyway, with Micah and Paul, Dave. So they go out, don't they? And then there's a little bit of dialogue between Micah and Paul. He's saying Micah and Paul. Gets told off again. Micah and Paul, and he admits to her that he thought Irina was a bit touchy-feely at the pool party, stuff like that. I mean, I've got something to say on all this, Dave. I want to know what you think about this whole thing.
Yeah, I can't make my mind up about this couple. I don't really think they're that into each other, but. Yeah, I mean, Paul wasn't wrong what he was saying, was he? But he did kind of throw Irina under the bus there, because he knows exactly how Mika's gonna react to it, and she does seem a bit perplexed. I mean, the fact that she was very touchy feely with Kwarme, wasn't she? That
Yeah.
doesn't come up in the conversation at all about double standards.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
But it's oh my word, the outrage of this, we are gonna have to have it out. And so again, we get the staged, in a restaurant sort of setup and. Yeah, I found that all a little bit weird as well. Yeah, what do you reckon?
You've stole my thunder, I think. But no,
sorry,
no, you're right. So I think there's nothing between Paul and me, Micah. They are genuinely. I don't know why I'm having trouble with that name. They are genuinely not a couple. They're here for the show. It's absolute bullshit. And I was laughing internally, going, well. Micah is unhappy with Irina, as you've just said, but I don't think she was that bothered about Chelsea's reaction when she was really flirty and touchy-feely with Kwarme, was she? There was none of that. It was more like, let's see how pissed off we can make Chelsea. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, Dave. Even Irina, when she was talking to Irina, the conversation was...
Irina when she was talking to Irina?
Maybe not Irina talking to herself, Dave. Maybe talking to Micah. And I've got to give Irina credit. She backs herself, Dave, because she basically said, if I wanted Paul, in no about words, I could have him. And you can see her looking. But Micah, for me, has not got any bones. He makes you laugh the hypocrisy of all this, Dave. I love it. I absolutely love it. Because it's like you said, you're so right. It's like, no mention of any of that. No, was there? You're really offended. You're upset. And then she's saying, well, I didn't like what she said to Irene when she went, well, when all the girls, so we've not seen this, well, when all the girls won't speak to you and everything, I was the only one. You're my girl, my best friend and all this. And I was like, well, you're being a bit mean to her now. I'm not saying it's right what Irina did, but I don't like either of these girls. I was like, oh, it's all sort of like, do as I say, not as I do, I think, with her.
100%. And was it episode 3 where we saw Micah? You've got Micah in it now.
I'm questioning it, yeah.
She was talking to the other girls, wasn't she? She's just like, yeah, Chelsea just needs to fucking get over it, basically, was what she was saying, wasn't it? Like, there's no girl code at all, but, with Irina, there's obviously girl code there. So, I don't know. This storm in a teacup. Irina's happy because she gets to be on another episode, I guess. Yeah, still, there isn't a horse anywhere to be seen in these races, Chris, because they're all just shit, full of hypocrisy. But it makes quite good TV.
Yeah, it does, to be fair, Dave. I mean, this was a short episode. We're running at like 40 minutes, and I was thinking, where are we going with the first 10 minutes? The Bliss sack thing was just fucking awkward, as we said. And then this came in, I was like, ooh, this is a bit juicy. But he sort of fizzled out, didn't he? We didn't really get a conclusion on it. Maybe they're just... I must admit, Dave, this episode, we're halfway through the series. You had a good episode 5. We both said it was our favourite episode. This felt like it was one of them ones where they could have split this across 2 episodes. They didn't need... they've tried to make an episode just to fill in the 12 or whatever it is, 13 episode quote for the season, because... It was a slow episode other than this, I must admit. This was the only thing that got me going, oh, I can't wait to speak to Dave. It's going to kick off. And it didn't really kick off after that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the only other couple of interest, I think, because, I mean, we should say, Brett and Tiffany, you're doing great. It's not that we don't like it. It's just there's nothing interesting going on right now. Again, they get the Ollie and Tani award, don't they? But Kwarme and Chelsea, I think the plot thickens with these two. Now, Chris, what do you reckon to Kwarme and Chelsea? Because they spent a bit of time in the apartment, didn't they?
Well, I think, Dave, he should get his best and fastest running shoes on and get the fuck out of Dodge, Dave, because, I did say I didn't like what he did to her and approach. However, there's something off about her, Dave, for me. I'm not sure. And poor Kwame's got this sort of nervous laugh as if to say, if I don't laugh at this, I think you're going to absolutely come after me now, because she's just very, very intense, isn't she? And I don't think... She's talked about other boyfriends and that. There was a bit in this episode where they were completely loved up. One day they were laughing. He's going, "Can you flush the toilet when you go for a wee?" And she's like, well, I don't want to wake you. And he went, just flush the toilet. But he does this like nervous laugh. It's like, I need to tell her I'm joking because I think I'm asleep with one eye open. But I'm not a fan of Chelsea. I don't agree with what Micah did to her in that. But as this has gone on, these guys are not right together, Dave. And we know they were a rebound couple. And I think these two show more than anyone else that these are together just for the show. And the more this goes on, the longer it just doesn't look authentic to me.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say with this one, Chris, I think I called it. I think there was some kind of Glenn Close vibes coming across from Chelsea initially. And like you say, I mean, does it count as a rebound couple if only one half rebounded? It's really Kwarme, wasn't it? Who needed to stay on the show, so proposed. But I think Chelsea's been all in, but just a bit too fucking much in, to be honest. It comes across really intense, and like the way she was getting when her dad was coming round, and that negative energy was obviously, having an influence on Kwarme as well. I think that that was quite uncomfortable, wasn't it? And he's trying to be jokey and laugh and stuff, and she's just like really, really anxious about it all. But yeah, I just think lock your pets away.
You're not got anything called bugs, have you?
Yeah, I just think there's something imbalanced with this couple.
Yeah,
and so I just don't think they're really quite right. I don't know. Chris, with Maths Australia, I'm sure it was season 9, I want to say, with Melissa and Bryce. So all through that season, like he was such an utter dick, right?
Yeah.
And Kwame's not. But it was like, what is the secret ingredient here? Why is Melissa putting up with all this shit? And she had a plan. She wanted babies.
Yeah.
So, and she got them. So, she was laser focused on that. And the fact that Bryce was a bit of a dick didn't really matter. That would do the job. I feel like, or I'm suspicious, I guess, that is Chelsea as intensely in love with Kwarme as she comes across as being? Or has she got not the same plan as Melissa, but she's just focused on that relationship? So I don't mean necessarily having babies or anything, but she's just at that time in her life where she's like, right, I need to, get with someone, and it just comes across like that. I mean, it's a slightly wild hypothesis, but there's something weird going on there.
Yeah, and I mean, we laugh about it on these shows, but the first thing you do is then go on a Netflix reality show shown to millions of people, Dave, to find love. We were laughing at like Maths and Love Island and all that thing. There is a little bit of, well, you must be with a talent agency. You don't just appear on these shows from nowhere, do you? You know what I mean? With the best will in the world. I know it's an American show, so we won't see the casting, but I've not really had any stories about other castings. I'm sure there's a Reddit thread somewhere on it, but I'm with you. And I've got a bit of news for you, Dave, before we move on. I did think of you last night, and obviously it wasn't in any sort of weird way, but I did see Mel start talking on the Twitter feed for Maths, saying, oh man, it's a terrible delivery. It seems so false what she's saying, but the film in the UK one, Dave, which is supposed to be best ever. Then I looked round the corner and was like, oh yeah, Love Island starts in June. Then we're straight into Married at First Sight. So you need to have a boardroom meeting about this, Dave. Definitely, because we've only just got over the PTSD of what we've done.
I'm not sure we're over it.
No, we're not. We're not. So anyway, just to throw that little curveball in before we carry on, Dave. But yes, that was, you were in my thoughts, my friend, last night.
Yeah, so I'm just going to push that off into the distance in my mind until we have to deal with it.
Like we always do.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, I'm still not over that.
I know, we've just brought the mood down now, haven't
we? No, I'm just trying to think how we do it, but yeah. So, but let's see. But Chris, anything else for Love Is Blind?
No, nothing really. I thought, honestly, Dave, I thought it was a bit of a. I was glad it was 40 minutes because I thought, well, this is all right for the podcast. I thought it was going to be an explosive 40 minutes, and it wasn't. It was just Micah and Paul and the Irina thing, and then the Kwarme and Chelsea, really. That's it. Like you say, it's sad, isn't it? You've got a couple there. Brett and Tiffany's so good, and we say it every episode, and it's like, don't care when they're on the screen, Dave. It shows how we're trained to just go after the drama and the shit. I'm not arsed. He's telling the girls about, I love her. How can she have such a great personality and look like that? And all the girls are like, oh my God. And I'm just like, get me the fucking sick bucket, Brett. Even though everybody in the world wants a relationship where they love each other and, and all this, Dave. And it sounds so nice what he's saying. I'm just like, I don't care. I want to see the shit going on. I want to see affairs. I want to see everything. I want to talk about it in the podcast. So it does show that when it comes to these shows, I think in the opposite of what really want to see in a relationship, because it's just it's just fucking boring.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Love Is Blind and everyone gets on famously, we wouldn't be asked.
We wouldn't be doing a podcast anymore.
Exactly. So, they've got to keep us interested here.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. So, Dave, let's ride off into the sunset. A bit of a quicker one on this, but we'll be back for episode 7, won't we, pretty soon? So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And thank you, as always, for all your support. Please go over to Facebook, guys, Chris and Dave Reality TV Cast. Come and join us. You just ask for an approval. We'll all approve you. Big thanks to Charlene, as always, for running the page over there for us. Thank you very much. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast. And if you do want to support us, get over to patreon.com/cdrealitycast. So the roll call of honour for today is Ken, Lucky Lulu Green, Lauren Hennessy, Susan Deedy, Katie, Libby, Joanna, Noreen, Chloe, Brianna, Helen, Keith, Gillian, Zoe, Kristen, Maggie, Kate, Megan, Cassie, Fiona, Emma, Nicola, Macy, Alex, Helen, and Larissa. So thank you so much, guys, for your support. That is just unbelievable, the support, Dave. So thank you.
It's impressive how you do that, to be fair. I'm not sure I'd be able to do all that without a breath.
I've got a lot of fucking fresh air, Dave. You know what? Some shit.
Yeah, a lot of hot air, so...
That's what I meant, not fresh air.
Mixing your metaphors.
You've come out with some really long words today, Dave. I'm going to have to get my thesaurus out and work out what you were saying before. So,
well, thank you very much, sir. Thanks to everyone out there for listening. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.